Hey guys, Bowhunting Radneck here. Welcome to Indian Creek Bowhunting Journal. On today's episode we have a bow press. I'm going to show you how to make a bow press for right at about $35 for all the stuff at Home Depot. I'm going to show you step by step how to make this. Hopefully we're going to make this really quick so we don't take a whole lot of your time, but you'll catch the concept. And I've built it so that I can use it for multiple bows. It's adjustable and will adjust on the end so you can press a long bow. For example, this right here, PSE full throttle that I have in here, is a longer axle-to-axle bow, Weld plus the 30-inch range. And then my DNA right here, which is about 30 inches and a half inch as well. So stay tuned and we'll show you how to make this bow press.
The message of the Holy Scriptures is absurd, and the life of the Messiah is meaningless, unless we believe that he walked perfection, and that he died for my substitution, that his resurrection is no illusion.
Alright guys, we're going to show you how to make a really awesome bow press for 35 bucks, about 35 bucks and some change. So I'm not going to bore you with talking through the materials list. I've got it down below. If you'll just look in that box, you'll see the material list and what you have to buy, the price for each of those items. Some of those are round numbers, but it's right at about $35 and some change. I want to talk you through how I built this and how you can do it. So when you go to Home Depot or you go to Lowe's or wherever you're going to go to get your lumber, just have them cut it. Don't pay any attention to this 2x3 because you can use a 2x4. I just happen to have these as scraps, so I didn't have to buy it. But at Home Depot you can buy a 14-foot 2x4 and then have them cut it at the lengths. The first cut's going to be 39.5. The second cut's going to be 79 inches. Third cut's going to be 109, the fourth cut's going to be 133, and then the fifth cut's going to be 157. I've got those cuts down below as well. You can take that to Home Depot with you. If you have them cut it for you, you already got everything cut like you need it, except you're going to have to drill some holes and then also cut the arms for pressing your bow. You'll see the gap here. I'm going to show you how to do that. So you drill holes. I've got all the dimensions down there as well, so I'm not going to bore you. But the dimensions down below to the first hole, second hole, and the third hole. Now, whenever that you're drilling, so whenever you drill these holes, you're going to have your bow handy. I'm not sure what you're shooting, so I've made these to fit a PSE full throttle and also a PSE DNA, a shorter, about a 30-inch bow and about a 33-inch bow, I think, is the PSE full throttle. So I only use these first two holes here, but I can adjust it. So if your bow is shorter, you're going to have to drill a further hole down. They're spaced out at about 2 inches apart. Don't have to get them exact. You can see how these holes, I got these off a little bit. It's no big deal. Okay, so next thing, then you got your centerpiece. You're going to basically build a channel. For those of you that have framed houses before or are doing it now, you're going to build basically a channel. And then your arms, what you're going to do is drill a 1/2-inch hole here on the end. This is going to be your arm that's going to pivot on this point here with a 1/2-inch, 8-inch, 1/2-inch bolt stuck through there, so you can move it in and out and move it up and down the channel as you need to. And then the other arm is a stabilized arm. This you're just going to screw into the bottom side. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a minute. And it's not going to go anywhere. You're not going to have to put any braces on there. You can if you want to, but not necessary because all the weight for this is at the hinge point. This isn't a hinge point really, but the hinge point on this side, with this one hinging like this. The pressure points are going to be on the bottom of these, and then the rod, the 3-foot rod going through the top right here. Okay, so set this up before you screw it together. Let me show you how to do that real quick. You're going to need to go outside. Don't do it in a ventilated area. Take your JB Weld, and you're going to have a 3/4 inch wrench, and on the end that is the closed in, the rounded off end, you're going to stick that bolt in there and JB Weld it in there, just like you see on the screen there. And then you also need to take your 3-foot rod, and you're going to take the wing nut and also the washer, and you're going to put JB Weld on the inside, and then screw that on there. Then you can put JB Weld on the bottom side of the wing nut, and then slide that washer on and lock that in as well. So you want this side locked, and you want a wing nut because you can grab this to hold it when you screw down the other side with this wrench. So let me show you how I did these arms. Oh yeah, I didn't get these arms. Basically what you're doing is you're going to drill a hole in the top of these so the 3-foot rod can work together. Now you need at least about 2 feet on your arms on the end, and the reason for that is you're going to have more torque. The farther out you go, there's going to be more torque, and it's going to be easier to press the bow. I found I did make one earlier that was way too short. It was just way too much tension here to try to have to press the bow, so I made it up higher, as well as it gives you room to work on the bow with this rod being out of the way higher up. So 2 feet up is a good number to go by. When you prepare these arms, basically what you can do is lay these out. I've got the dimensions below on the bottom there, and when you drill the hole, you're going to use an 1/8 drill bit. It's going to be a wood bit. This is actually a 1 inch, but 1 1/8. And you're going to drill holes in each of the end first to start, just like I'm demonstrating there on the video. Then you can take a Skilsaw, which I found works best, and you take a Skilsaw, set this up on 2 ends, and then run the Skilsaw down between these two holes. You want to measure though, at least check your bow, because you're going to have to measure it off your bow to see where how you can get the stopper at the end of your cam right here. What you've got to look for is this clearance here, right here on the stop. There's one there, and then there's another stop on this bow as well on the PSE DNA. So you got to check for that, but make sure you check your bow to make sure you get it wide enough. On the PSEs, I've made this slot 1 inch and 1/8 wide. That's why I use the drill bit. So if yours is wider, you might need to use like 1 inch and 3/8 bit or something like that. If yours is shorter, you could use a shorter one, maybe the 1 inch bit. And then I would make it as narrow as you can, because you want to keep the strength right here in these bars, because you're going to cut this section out as well. Okay, so once you've done that, you do that first. Drill the ends, cut it out with a Skilsaw, or if you're a redneck, you want a redneck Skilsaw, you can use a chainsaw. I've used one of those before, but you can't get it as precise. So if you want to do it the redneck way, go for it. Anyway, I use the Skilsaw, even though I am a redneck. Then you can use a Skilsaw for this, or a table saw. I happen to use a table saw, and I cut out this figure here is down below, but I don't remember what it is. It looks like it's about a 1/2 inch I've cut out. A 1/2 inch I've cut out, so that when you have this sitting on the end, you've got an anchor point for the end of your limbs to sit against. Now the PSE full throttle is going to sit down in here, and it does fine. It doesn't slide or anything. But that's there as a safety feature just to keep it from sliding out if it ever tries to. Alright, let's put this thing together. Here we go. Alright guys, in closing I want to show you how these things press here. Now the manufacturer always suggests that you push from the end of the limbs themselves where the natural push of the or natural pull of the bow is going to be on these limbs, or the pressure point. So let me show you how this one works. This is a PSE full throttle. Here's how you press it. You got to open this thing up all the way to get these in. You're going to press it together. You also have to take the stabilizer off, so you got to take this stabilizer off before you do it. Stick it in there, let it come down, and then stick this through all the way. And then you want to thread your, excuse me, I'm dropping everything. Put the half-inch washer on, along with the wrench that you made that I showed you how to make. Get that started. Get that started and get a little bit of pressure on here, and then we're going to adjust it so that it is pushing on the right spot on the bow so you don't break your bow, because you got to be careful as you once the pressure starts coming on this thing here. So I line it up to make sure that my limbs are equally on each side. Right there, we're good. Make sure this thing is towards the center, and I think we're good to press it. Got to hold this side so that the bar doesn't spin. The 3-foot threaded rod makes it pretty simple with this wrench on here. It's not going to fall off, so it's getting loose. So we can get that as tight as we want. Again, I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. I don't have to take anything off. I don't want to mess up my twist here on my peep sight, so I'm not going to do that anymore, or take this off at all. So you can take that off, also do your stabilizer, the stabilizer here, not stabilizer, excuse me, the slide bar. So you can pretty much work on it, work on your peep, maybe even tie a new serving, whatever you need to do to work on your bow in the press. So it's a pretty nifty way to do that. Let me show you the DNA. So here's my old Chronic. Now this one's a little bit problematic in that it's not a parallel limb design, and it also has a hard time fitting in here without. So it's going to be. This would be touchy, really pressing this bow, because it's so thin on the limbs that it almost slips right through. Most of the modern day bows today, they're much wider. It gets a better base when you're shooting on the limbs, and really keeps it from torquing a lot. That's why they make them so much wider now. And so this bow probably has a lot of torque with it. But you could modify this a little bit to be able to press this bow. Wouldn't be any big problem. You just have to make sure that you get make sure that these limbs do not slip through the middle. That's going to be your problem. But anyways, you can modify it to put together whatever bow you want to press. And so I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching Indian Creek Bow Hunting Journal. Be sure and give us a thumbs up. Click a few ads along the way because I make a few dollars. I take my wife out to eat maybe every other month. So if you'll help me out with that as well, I put a lot of time into these videos and hopefully you're enjoying them and giving you some helpful hints. So thanks a lot for watching.